Hello class and welcome to this Mega Man 5 walkthrough right here on Video Games 101 by way of Let's Play with Brigands. I'm your instructor, Professor Brigands, and in the year 20XX AD, you might remember this, or maybe you don't, maybe it hasn't happened yet. They leave the door open. They get themselves some wiggle room in this one, but a vicious army of robots is bent on destroying the world. I think this happened in multiple years, actually, and behind this destruction is... Wait, hold on. We only know one robot who wears a silk chiffon scarf in yellow. Proto Man. No, it's not Proto Man. Let's be honest. We all know it's Wily. It's always been Wily. It's never not been Wily. Even when they would have us believe it was someone else, it's still Wily pulling the strings, like in Mega Man 4 when he had Dr. Cossack taking the fall, being the scapegoat for him. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess he's doing the exact same thing in this game, only to Proto Man this time. But anyway, we'll have to play to find out. In terms of difficulty, Mega Man 5 gets a 5 out of 10. On the frustration scale, this equates to throwing your controller across the room, possibly because you wandered into the wrong boss's stage without having the right weapon. But worry not, fear not, we have your Mega Man 5 boss order just on the other side of this intro. Blaze has in-depth guides to every single weapon in this game that you get, all the basic items, which you already know what those do, obviously, but Gary's got all your boss beaters to take down every enemy robot as efficiently as possible, and Fluff, I don't know how he keeps doing it. He has more facts to share with us about the Mega Man series, and of course, specifically, Mega Man 5, so let's run the intro and get into this Mega Man 5 walkthrough, which features the proper Mega Man 5 boss order right here on Video Games 101. Alright, I teased it on the other side. Let's get up that Mega Man 5 boss order. This is the best order to take on the bosses of Mega Man 5. Start with Star Man, to Gravity Man, to Gyro Man, Crystal Man, Napalm Man, and then just that left column, Stone, Charge, and Wave Man, finishing it off there. So yes, we're going to start with Star Man right here. Doesn't look a lot like Jeff Bridges, but we'll roll with it. I have to say, I make a lot of fun of this series, but these games are always a good time as we take a look at the controls for Mega Man 5. Not a whole lot of surprises here if you've played any of the other Mega Man games ever. All pretty straightforward as we take a look now at the Briggs notes for this Mega Man 5 walkthrough. The keys to beating this game: first, know your boss order, your Mega Man 5 boss order. We just talked about that. Number 2, ABC, always be charged, always be charging. You'll see throughout this entire walkthrough, I will always generally have my full blast ready to go with the Mega Buster. Number 3, stay centered around the pits. That's pretty straightforward in a lot of games which feature pits. Hop up there, use the low gravity to grab that M letter, which Blaze will talk about in just a moment. Want to collect all those, just be very wary around the spikes. Number 4, use the rush jets to bypass tricky sections. We'll get that before too long. Not sure why we just can't keep that between the games. I guess while we're at it, Dr. Light, why don't we just get to keep all of the guns that we had in the previous games? How delightful would that be, you know? I really don't understand why we need to deprogram me every time. You know Wily's gonna come back. He always comes back, so... And finally, the 5th Briggs note, collect the letters to get beat. And speaking of the letters, here's an overview of the items of Mega Man 5 with Blaze. Alright, let's talk about the basic items you can find in Mega Man 5. We've covered these in all the other Mega Mans, most of these at least. So these are going to seem pretty familiar. We have the refill health circles, the small and large, worth 2 meters of your health, and 10 for the larger one. We have the kind of camera-looking ones, which refill your weapon points, meters for your weapon. Once again, 2 for the smaller one and 10 for the bigger one. The E-Tank, this tops off your health on demand if you have one of these in your inventory. We have the M-Tank, which tops off every single gun, every meter you've got all your life. Gonna top it off. We have the helmet, which is an extra life, the 1-up in this game. And then the letters. Collect all of the letters of Mega Man 5 to get beat. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's certainly worth your time. Thank you very much, Blaze. And very quickly, let's bring in our resident boss expert, Gary, for tips on how to beat Starman. Gary? It's Scary Gary's Boss Beaters. Alright, Starman. You want to slide under him when he jumps until he fires that shield. Once he lets it go, you want to fire up that charged Mega Buster. Repeat this process. He's not too difficult when you get into the right rhythm. Take him down. Very good. Thank you very much, Gary. Just managed to stay safe in that little corner right there. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Part of the reason why we recommend starting with Starman, because he's extremely easy once you get into the right rhythm right there. We'll get our first weapon from Starman. So let's throw it to Blaze to cover and find out what we just got. Blaze, what did we get from Starman? Alright, Star Crash. Very similar to Woodman's Leaf Shield. Creates a shield of stars around you, which you can launch in any direction that you want. Not that useful, but very effective against the next boss, which Gary will cover. Good call. Thank you very much, Blaze. And moving on to Gravity Man. What would Gravity be weak against? Stars, obviously. Or would it be the other way around? I'm not sure. I feel like when a star collapses on itself. You know what? Not a professor of astrophysics. Let's just stick to the video games right here. You'll see in Gravity Man Stage that there will be times where you'll be flipped to the top or back to the bottom of the screen, kind of a mind bender right here, to kind of climb down, upside down on that ladder. The slides are inverted. You gotta hold up when you want to do a slide when you're on the ceiling. Pretty cool, actually, I have to say. The new ways that they find to not completely reinvent, but just add enough changes to the gameplay to keep you coming back. If it ain't broke, right? Just kind of tweak the formula ever so slightly, introducing something small each time. I have to admit, the first time I came to this stage, I was trying to figure out how to break through the ceiling in that last bit before I realized, oh, that's just part of the design, and we'll see that all over the screen, like right up here at the top. It's more of a something, if you will, that you would find in, say, Mega Man X, which we have an upcoming class for that game coming up before too long. There's the letter for this stage. So we're a quarter of the way to collecting Beat. Very useful weapon. I think Fluff has some information on Beat, which will... that animation of him just climbing upside down, I love that. Especially after seeing him do it for the normal way, the conventional way to climb a ladder, you know, going up, right side up. In so many other Mega Man games, it's just... But anyway, alright. Let's throw it to Gary in a timely manner this time for our second boss, Gravity Man. Gary, how do we do it? Boss Beaters. Alright, Gravity Man, you want to get into a rhythm of sliding. Up on the ceiling, remember, you gotta hold that to slide on the ceiling rather than down. And then just trade sides with the boss. You want to fire that Star Crash when the boss transitions. Just keep in mind that this is a very slow-moving weapon, so you might need to fire this thing a little early, maybe even just as soon as the boss jumps, but just repeat this process. You'll take it down without too much difficulty. Yeah, it tangles your brain a little bit, I will admit, having just played it, but there you go. But from Gravity Man, what did we get, Blaze? Alright, Gravity Hold. Kind of similar to maybe Flash Man's move, just fire it. They didn't really put in an animation for it, but it does its job, especially against the boss. It's designed to be used against, but there you go. The Gravity Hold. Alright, good luck. Moving on to Gyro Man. Always makes me want a gyro, actually. Obviously different connotation, pronunciation, spelled the same way. Who doesn't love a delicious gyro? Anyway, moving forward. Cucumber sauce, tzatziki. Very delicious. So mind the timing on these guys. This is where being charged certainly helps. Just have to have patience to time it right to get that shot off, but it's a one-shot kill. Yeah, this game is so much more manageable when you just take the time. And I was reluctant to go for this strategy the first time I was playing this game and getting ready for this class, but then I realized, you know, just hold down the button. There's no downside to doing it, really. It's just, you know, you're moving. It doesn't stop you from moving or anything like that. It's just not how I would normally play, but it really does make a huge difference when you always have that powerful shot ready to be released on demand, rather than having to worry about feeding multiple of your Mega Buster pellets into enemies to take them down, even with Turbo. Although I will say there is a certain satisfying feeling that you get from just unloading lots of those turbo shots. I like to just slide under these guys. Just a matter of timing. Alright, so we have the most difficult letter to get right here, and oftentimes the time when I'll die the most in this game. You have to time it just so that you jump right there. There you go. Easier. It looks a lot easier than it actually is what I'm trying to say. Mind the spikes here, obviously. Just stay ahead. Don't wait to just walk to make these transitions. Jump at the earliest possible time to keep the low headroom, basically. Or as much headroom as possible with those spikes above you. Then it makes it a lot less difficult. But yes, getting that one particular letter makes it's probably the hardest one to get. Getting that timing right, jumping at just the right time, because there's a very small window which you can come out of that without falling to your death, I should say. But just like that, we are already the way to Gyro Man in this stage. Let's throw it back to Gary for tips on how to take him down.
Gyro Man. Want to fire that gravity hold, then take a very shallow, short jump over the gyro, which is coming at you. You don't want to get too close, otherwise he'll start flying away off the screen. Just repeat this process. You should get him down to about 3/4 of his health gone. And as he's flying off the screen, you can still use this effectively. Just keep a little bit of space between each shot. You'll take him down.
Nice and lazy, I like it. All right, Blaze, what do we get from Gyro Man?
All right, the Gyro Attack launches out a little gyro propeller, and you can launch it and send it up or down. Just hit the direction button in the direction you want to send it in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So a little extra control over it, but there you go. The Gyro Attack.
I like it. Moving on to Crystal Man here. Definitely has the same kind of vibe as Gemini Man from Mega Man 3. Game many consider to be the high watermark of the series. A lot of love for Mega Man 2, deservedly so. I think I've gone on record as saying I'm a Mega Man 4 guy myself, simply because I think when they added the invention of the Mega Buster, the charge shot, which we're leaning heavily on here, just wait for the openings in these, and as long as you jump without waiting too long after you see that gap, you'll be able to get through without issue. You can generally power through the first half like we did right there. Just flip top. Also known as Eddie. Lucked out, got the E-Tank on that one there. Remember in the last Mega Man game, I think you could like disappear and then come back on the screen to get what you want if you didn't throw what you wanted the first time. Just don't pick it up, and he'll respawn again. But yeah, once they added the slide in 3, that was an improvement over 2. Just kind of the movement got more fluid too between 2 and 3. Added Rush, that was nice in 3. Better than just the generic number named systems, which kind of did the same thing, but come on, people like dogs. And then the charge shot, which they added in 4. After that, didn't really need to do or add too much after that, in my opinion. They added Beat, obviously, in this one. Fluff is going to talk about Beat a little bit later as we're collecting some E-Tanks here. Nice to have a stock of those if and when we need to rely on one. Use the Rush coil here. It acts a little strange, especially when you're used to the way it operated in the last game when it just bounced you as soon as you jumped on it. Here's one of those M-Tanks, which replenishes everything. There's only 1 or 2 of those in the entire, actually. Alright, so we want to hang to the right first and then hang hard left as soon as you go past that first spike screen, and that's how you pick up that letter right there and avoid the spikes on top of it. Charge shot works nicely for getting these guys on the ground, as well as, you know, it widens out that shot when you have it all charged up. But yes, the M-Tank, the next one won't appear while you still have this M-Tank, so you gotta burn through this one even though there's a counter on it. But anyway, Gary, Crystal Man.
All right, Crystal Man, want to keep your distance, just focus on landing the gyro attack shots as efficiently as possible rather than dodging. It's very difficult to avoid Crystal Man shots, which will be going all over the screen. Focus on landing those shots with a little bit of a break between each one to reset the damage, make him susceptible again, but just do this strategy like we show right here. We'll take him down.
Yeah, that's a street fight. Like you said, just focus on the shots, landing the shots. And Blaze, what do we get from Crystal Man?
All right, the Crystal Eye, pretty cool move. Just launch it off of walls. It bounces back, breaks into 3 pieces, which bounce around the screen. Very useful, so you can fire it on the boss that you need to, and then focus on getting out of the way of their shots while it still generally finds its target.
Thank you very much, Blaze. On the Napalm Man, and Fluff has some information, let's say. And again, charge shots for the Tigers, just always be charged. Fluff, what do you got for us?
You know I don't normally deal in rumors, but there's long been an interesting rumor that Mega Man 5 was banned in Vietnam upon the game's release, purportedly due to the existence of Napalm Man in the game. The highly incendiary substance of napalm had devastating effects to the country and its people during the Vietnam War, so the ban is understandable. While it would have been easy enough for Capcom to change the name of the character, the level design of the jungles and caves and even tigers all appear to be heavily influenced by the country of Vietnam itself, a combination of which the government of Vietnam presumably didn't like, hence the rumored ban.
Thank you very much, Fluff. Yeah, I could see that not playing very well there. You can see we could go through the wall to grab those items right there. Keep thinking the water's gonna react like in Toad Man Stage from Mega Man 4 when it's coming down on you, kind of stunting the jumps you're able to get off there, but not so much. One of the few instances of an enemy which we cannot take down with one shot. I'll take the one up there. I do like the effect of when you're charged up, so too does the item get charged up in that instance. Yeah, even if you can't take down an enemy with one single shot, it's nice to, if you can land that Mega Buster charge shot on a lot of these higher defense enemies. Not a difficult end to pick up right there, but there it is. Then yeah, you can. It gets you a lot of the way through the work by getting that initial shot off. So it only takes 1 or 2 of those weaker shots to finish them off. Slide under these, but yeah, there's just a lot of shrapnel going everywhere here. With the slide, just gotta time it right, as I said. Use that temporary invincibility to not die right there. Might have to dip into our E-Tank reserves right here, use our first one. Watch out for the little missile drill-looking guys that pop out of the gaps right there. Always be aware of those. Most of these have one of these enemies hiding down there, but not that final one. All right, Napalm Man, let's throw it back to Gary, get some tips on how to take him down. Gary?
Boss beater. Hey, Napalm Man, you want to fire that crystal eye off the wall and just focus on dodging his shots. If he's far away, he's going to do those 3 straight shots. When he gets close, he'll do that 1 lob shot. You want to slide under him when he jumps. Just repeat this process, you'll take him down.
Thank you very much, Gary. And yeah, just comes down to the wire sometimes. Just waiting for that shot to bounce off the wall, but it just moves so slow when you're looking very low on health yourself. Anyway, got our next weapon, and actually in the context of our inventory, it's not the best name. Blaze?
Alright, the unfortunately titled N-Bomb stands for Napalm Bomb. This creates a small arc of a bomb, bounces around a little bit till it finds its target or just explodes, but there you go, the Napalm Bomb.
I like those colors of the Napalm Bomb. It's kind of Ram's colors, but on the Stone Man stage. This is probably the easiest beat letter to miss, actually, so we'll show you where to grab it so that you can have beat for the later stages of this game. Unfortunately, we don't get to use beat until very late in the game, but you definitely pick up on the fact that when Capcom make these games, it's really just the theme. They make the levels, they make the same levels every Mega Man. Like, if Crystal Man Stage kind of had Gemini Man vibes, this is kind of Guts Man, Wood Man. Think of some more in a second, but in the bottom right, shoot through these right here. Slide underneath, grab yourself the G. And there we go. Easy one to miss right there, but it's the only one that's kind of hidden away where you wouldn't be able to see it. Most of the others are just kind of in a precarious spot, which you might miss just because you don't react in time or something like that. But a little bit of Guts Man. Did I say Guts Man already? Hard Man, Wood Man. Just, yeah. Kind of cookie cutter. Just, I don't know, make a Guts, Hard, Wood Man type looking level. And yeah, we'll make it work. We'll figure it out. Kind of reminds me of Drill Man Stage 2 from Mega Man 4, but anyway, I'll stop. And we're coming up on Stone Man now, where we'll use, again, the unfortunately titled N, but I can't believe that no one at Capcom thought maybe we shouldn't abbreviate Napalm Man's weapon to N-Bomb in the inventory and the weapon selection here in Mega Man 5, but I don't know. Maybe that would be the reason why Vietnam didn't want this game if they did in fact ban it. Vietnam saying, we're not touching that. And yeah, hard to blame them. Very busy here in the final stretch as we're getting to Stone Man here. Music, I have to say, we can grab this by, if you pull out the rush coil right here. If you also do just a jump which hugs the side, you can jump up and around to get up there. But yeah, the music, I think this is the first Mega Man game where the music really drops off for me. 4 had some of the best tracks from the entire series, if you ask me, but obviously 2 and 3, some of the greatest of all time for the NES, but make sure you do a very quick jump here to get that E-Tank. We gotta head back to the left here to get these platforms to spawn back in again. Not sure why they do like a Top Man type situation when I'm standing on them. And I can see them spinning, but, you know, Stone Man Stage. Not really getting that there. Thanks, Flip Top, by the way. I'm at full health, and that's what he gives me. I realize it's random, but... if you get that full shot on them, then it just takes them down right away. Otherwise, you have to deal with the mini varieties. Or maybe just takes them all down in one fell shot. There we go. The N-Bomb. Gary. Did not mean to make that sound like it was a nickname. Anyway, Gary, how do we take down Stone Man using the Napalm weapon here in Mega Man 5?
Alright, Stone Man, you want to stay near him and slide under those shallow jumps he does, get in those Napalm Bomb shots when he's standing up or he's landing from a jump. Repeat this process, you'll take him down very quickly.
Yeah, not too dissimilar from the strategy we used on, I guess it was kind of Starman. Maybe one other boss, but there you go. We are, I guess, more than halfway done with the initial robots here. And what do we get from Stone Man? Let's throw it back to Blaze.
Alright, the Power Stone creates a kind of circle of 3 stones which increase in size and fall away from you. It's important to note that you can use this and you can't fire it again until it leaves the screen. A little workaround is to fire it and then pause the game, unpause it, and you could fire a fresh one. Gary will mention this when we get to the next boss, but there you go, the Power Stone.
Thank you, Blaze. I just can't take Charge Man's design seriously. He's shaped like a choo-choo. Come on. I know they have that contest every time a new Mega Man game's coming out to get designs from fans on what these robots might look like. But yeah, you didn't have to go with it, Capcom, I'm just saying. Speaking of which, told Fluff has a relevant fact as it relates to that. So Fluff, what do you got for us?
In previous classes we've done on Mega Man games, which you can find through the Video Games 101 playlist via the link in the description, I've mentioned that the robot designs came from the winners of a robot design contest Capcom held with most games in the series. Mega Man 5's Gravity Man has the distinction of being one of the very few robots designed by a female contest winner, Yukiko Mori.
Very cool, and I like that robot design. That's a good one. Not shaped like a friggin' train, but that's fine. We'll fight Charge Man. This will be good. If nothing else, it gave Capcom a chance to create an entirely new level design right here. You know, they've never done a train-themed level before, so that worked out. I know they, generally speaking, they kind of fit the Robot Masters to the existing levels, so I guess they already had a sort of transit-based, train-based robot in mind for this case. I don't know. I don't really know how that went, actually, but yeah, it seems a bit too on the nose for the particular boss right here. Yeah, I'm still not used to having to jump off of Rush with the coil. I know it's meant to give you maybe a little extra lift, but kind of prefer the old design, actually. One of the easier letters to get back there. Only have a couple more to get here to unlock Beat. Plenty of one-ups at this stage in the game. Won't be hurting for those. I guess Mega Man took a train to get home at the end of, was it Mega Man 3? I know he walked at the end of 2. Maybe it was the end of 1. He just sort of hung out on top of that train as he was going back. I don't know. The endings all kind of bleed together. But that's not why we play these games. We play in the takedown, goofy-looking robots like Charge Man. Gary?
Right, Charge Man. You want to keep the boss right behind you. You want to fire that power stone, and then pause like Blaze mentioned to clear the shot off the screen as you unpause. And then repeat this. When the boss pauses, that's how you know he's about to charge at you. And also, one last thing to mention, that air shot that he does is completely random in its location, but just repeat this process, you'll take him down.
I like that little hack there. Pausing the game to clear the screen of the stone attack. Good call, Gary. My kind of boss beater. And Blaze, what do we get from Thomas the Tank Engine here?
Alright, the charge kick basically turns your slide into an offensive weapon. Use this against certain bosses, but other than that, not too practical.
Yeah, that's fair. Only use this really against Wave Man, the final robot here. I like his Triton look. That's kind of cool with the his little mask or hat that he's wearing. I like that. Yeah, this is definitely just what was it, Dive Man 2.0? Definitely looks like that stage. Looks like, I don't know, just all the water-themed robots all kind of blurred together. All the stone kind of robots all bleed together. I get it. There's only so many elements, so when they change things up with a Star Man or a Gravity Man or a Train Man, we should be Charge Man. Sorry, I need to stop making fun of Charge Man. Then we should be grateful. We should be grateful. All right, so right here we want to ride the big bubbles up. These ones will not pop, even if we jump up and down on them. We can use these little ones to transition to the left here to get on top of this bigger one. Not sure how it got past the spikes, which it clearly would have had to get to this height, when you can see bubbles just pop on those spikes, but need to make a little bit of a jump of faith there, a leap of faith to land on that tiny bubble and make that transition there. Being very aware of the spikes right above you. So this is probably the second most difficult outside of the one early on where we had the platforms falling. of all the letters to get, because you have to be ready to jump into it to pick it up. Generally, the safest place on the screen is this back third, not all the way on the back, because there's going to be enemy robots appearing right there. And then once the fish start popping out, then I like to switch to about the middle of the screen and just reacting accordingly. Get plenty of these turbo shots in as this particular robot is popping up and down out of the water. There we go. Be nice if they had given us a little energy top off or something there, but that's alright. These guys will shoot from the back, so just be aware. They're not just coming up on you, they are firing shots. Getting a little busy, and the next letter will be coming up here in just a second. There it is. As long as you stay in the back, you'll have time to pick that one up, and then you can move back up to the front where I think it's a little bit safer in this stretch. All right. Good to get off the Sea-Doo. That was not a good time. Not sure the ball pit supplier was the last line of defense that you thought it was, Wave Man, but anyway. More bad news for you. I got Gary. How do we take down Wave Man, Gary?
Alright, Wave Man, you want to stay close and spam those charge kicks right through him. These will keep you relatively safe from damage as long as you're in the middle of one of these charge kicks while it's active, but repeat this process, he'll go down very quickly.
Yeah, it's not the most practical weapon, but it's very satisfying when you're taking down Wave Man, I have to say. There you go. Alright. We've beaten all of the enemy robots. It's time to take on Proto Man. Can't believe he actually turned on us. Oh, before we take on Proto Man, let's find out what we got from Wave Man. Blaze?
Alright, the water wave creates a thick, straight shot of water. It can take out some projectiles, which is very useful. Probably in a very upcoming boss battle. Gary will talk about it, but there you go. The water wave.
Alright, I didn't want to believe it, but I mean the fact that Proto Man has his own evil castle just doesn't weigh in his favor, I guess is what I'm trying to say basically. I also realized we got the final letter there in that last stage, so we now have Beat as part of our inventory, so let's throw it to Blaze to find out more about Beat. Blaze?
Alright, Beat is a little bird that follows you around, and whenever an enemy gets close to you, Beat will end their life. More importantly, it's very useful for a number of bosses, so you can focus on just staying away from the attacks of the boss, letting Beat do the work for you, getting those hits in, while you just stay on the defense. But there you go, Beat. One of the better weapons to find in Mega Man 5. And they certainly made you work for it.
Yes, they did. Thank you very much, Blaze. Good work today, by the way. Yeah, this is an instance where you might want to rely on Rush Jet a little bit just to make your life a little bit easier. Certainly here when you have no other options. But while we're working our way through the first of the Proto Man Stage, let's get some more context regarding Beat from Fluff. Fluff, what do you know about Beat?
Mega Man 5 marks the debut of Mega Man's feathered support robot, Beat. Beat has appeared in every subsequent mainstream Mega Man game since, and has even appeared in some spin-offs, even having a small cameo in the underrated Mega Man Soccer. Beat's abilities change slightly in each game. For instance, he can still attack enemies, but cannot harm bosses in Mega Man 6. In Mega Man 7 through 11, God, they made a lot of these games, Beat can appear to rescue Mega Man if he falls into a pit, grabbing and carrying him for a short stretch. All in all, Beat is a useful companion to Mega Man, joining the reliable Rush from Mega Man 3 and Flip Top from Mega Man 4. You know, with Dr. Wily making 8 new enemy robots per game, you'd think Dr. Light could be bothered to work a little bit harder to maybe not match that output, but at least average better than 1 new ally per game.
It is pretty lazy. Hard to keep Wily down when we're just not matching his output. Except this time, apparently he's not the one behind all this, so... Gary, who we got?
First Dark Man. You want to spam the water wave to clear out the bullets and still get the hits in on them. You want to switch to beat when you're out of the water wave if you, and those tend to go pretty quick, but yeah, beat will finish off the job if you run out of the water wave attacks.
Yep, pretty efficient. Thank you very much, Gary. It's important to mention once we're in the Capsule stages that our special weapons, our secondary weapons, do not replenish anymore, so automatically. So we need to be on the lookout for the little weapon refill pods, whatever you want to call those things. So we move on to the second stage here. Second Proto Man Stage. Still can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth. So I mentioned this earlier, if you have an M in your inventory, that you can't get the one that's up here to appear, so you gotta burn through it first. So it's a good excuse to go ahead and use that right now to refill beat and all of our other weapons. Then we can just use our rush coil to pop up here, grab another M tank to refill everything on demand if and when we need it in this final stretch here of Mega Man 5. I always find one common theme with all these castle levels in these Mega Man games is like they're just a lot less accessible than the basic robot stages are. You need to use more rush type stuff. Definitely not up to ADA standards. Not sure who we would contact about that. I feel like most of the world turns to us whenever anything goes wrong, so I don't know. Maybe we'll just kill everyone involved for not being ADA compliant. I mean, we were going to do it anyway, so some careful stepping right there to avoid a very nasty death. That's another instance where you might just want to use your rush jet just to stay safer. One of the Briggs notes. Just unlike some of the earlier Mega Mans, you'll note that your feet aren't glued to it like they were in those games, so just have to be very aware of taking damage at a bad time. Getting knocked off and knocked down to your death. Good place to replenish your supplies right there, that kind of a item vending machine in that instance. I'm gonna slide through the bottom one and then pull back because, yeah, if you slide just an inch too far and they're not very forgiving with it, then you'll hit those spikes and immediately die, so. Not hurting for extra lives at this stage of the game, so we'll just skip that. These guys are just mildly annoying more than anything. I appreciate that it's a relatively new enemy that they've worked in here. Or a completely new enemy, but still annoying. Still annoying. Coming up on another boss here. Battle through a few more tigers, just kind of, they seem very out of place here, you know, it's like seeing them as part of the, a Vegas act or something. They should be in their natural habitat, the Napalm Man Stage, that's what I'm trying to say. Let's let them hop over us here. Thankfully one charged shot will take him down. Not sure what'll take down this next boss, but I know who will. Gary?
A Dark Man 2, you want to fire the crystal eye off the wall, jump over him when he's charging, repeat this. If you run out of the crystal eye, you can switch to the napalm bombs in a pinch, but you should be able to take him down without too much difficulty.
Yeah, that's the beauty of that crystal eye attack. Just keep your eyes on the enemy for the most part. This guy just seems like he doesn't know where he wants to be or where he's meant to go. It's like, should I try to kill him over here? Or is Mega Man on this side of the screen? I don't know. I don't know. Try some napalm bombs right here. Alright. Good secondary weapon right there. One step closer to having our climactic showdown with Proto Man after all we've been through. Like an older brother to me. I dare say he is the last robot I expected to turn on us. So, how about that? How about that? That seems unnecessary, going up and then coming back down there. How about we just do a nice straight diagonal line? Just stock up on some of the extra weapon replenishment. You know, extra tank of gas for rush. These guys are kind of annoying. They don't give up on you either. The worst is when they knock you down at the last second and just pile on, mosh pit style. And you just can't break out to do some damage to them. Obviously, jump off of these before they throw you into the spikes. I appreciate what Capcom was going for here, but just do a quick jump on that last one, but we can handle it. Another instance where you may just want to float above everything using your rush jet. Do I need anything here? Need anything from the store? Get a little more crystal eye. Not worried about my rush coil at this stage in the game. Let's get a little up close and personal for that shot right there. It's a good time to have your rush jet topped off if you don't already for this next section. This kind of helps. It's one of those instances where, you know, you can play the game as designed, or you can just make things a little easier for yourself and float over your problems. So this is the idea right here. We can kind of hug that and... Alright, I may have... Alright, there we go. I thought we just spelled certain doom for ourselves right there. But yeah, just... why walk? Why ride? When you can fly first class. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. That just seems very dangerous, riding that thing. Not Battletoads dangerous. In the snake level, Cobra Canyon, I don't know. I'm trying to block out as much of that class as possible, but yeah, just a reminder, that's there, part of the Video Games 101 playlist. Link in the description. Every previous class that we've done, all waiting right there for your infotainment. Including every other single Mega Man game which we've played so far here on this channel. Our E-Tank situation is looking pretty good right now. Have to imagine. Let's ride this one for a bit, see how far. It's really not that difficult. They don't throw anything all that complicated at you here. Always nice to have that rush jet handy just in case you need it, but I think for the most part this is just a more or less a straight shot. Yeah, alright. So I'm assuming this is the next Dark Robot, so let's go back to Gary for tips on this one.
Boss, hey, Dark Man 3, I love Beat for this. You want to get close to bait him into attacking. His attack is to fire kind of rings from right to left at you. You want to thread the needle, get between the rings with a jump, and then quickly slide back to the boss so Beat can get another hit in. Repeat this, steps 2 and 3, you'll take him down.
I love that strategy. Good luck, Gary. Just get close enough to get that shot, but then get away so you can maximize your time there with Beat. Very effective. Alright. I think it's time to come face to face with Proto Man in this stage. But first, a new mechanic. Knocking out the support beams. This is interesting, actually. Just be very aware of where the screen is going to fall. As soon as you take out both support beams, or all the support beams, then yeah, the ceiling will very quickly catch up to where you are. And if you're not paying attention, that can easily result in you getting spiked to death, so, or crushed. So there you go. Alright, let's see what we got. That does look like Proto Man. I don't remember it being quite that gray right there, but he's still cool. Wow. You never taught me that shot. Oh, the real Proto Man. You know what? I should have picked up on the key. It was slightly off. Alright. The L tank. Blaze didn't cover that one. Gary, how do we do it?
Boss, final Dark Man. I like the Mega Buster for him. You want to jump over the bullets, and then when he throws that shield, jump over it, fire the Mega Buster, jump when the shield comes back. Repeat this process. You'll take down the final Dark Man.
Alright, thank you very much, Gary. Yeah, just about getting into that rhythm, knowing when he's going to toss that shield right there. Keeping the distance certainly helps. There we go. Probably one of the more challenging bosses that we've come across thus far. Always that one last little shot, and then just rushing to get that one little shot, and there we go. All right. Okay, so it wasn't Proto Man. But if it wasn't Proto Man, Dr. Light? Roll? They know our name, whoever they are. They never expected us to defeat their powerful Dark Man robot. Oh, it is Dr. Wily. Okay. You should probably at least maybe suspected that it was a possibility after the first 4 Mega Man games, Wily, but whatever. Till now, I've managed to frame Proto Man for my crimes. For what, your unpaid parking tickets? Hanging out in the bushes outside of Roll's house? What have you been up to, Dr. Wily? Anyway, Dr. Light, oh, he's being held captive in his lab. Come if you dare. Yeah, we're gonna dare. The classic Wily eyebrow scene for the 10th time. Which is impressive. There's only been 5 games at this point, but there you go. Classic. Yep, there you go. Where does he get the resources to build all of these bases one after another? And clearly he's always going to the exact same architect. You know, someone who gets his vision of evil and skulls. But anyway, the final stretch. Grab this E-tank here. We have some spikes to deal with, so you need to be very careful. Just follow this pattern here. It's not as tight as, say, one of the later Wily stages in Mega Man 2, where they're a lot less forgiving. While we're battling through this Wily stage, let's go back to Fluff for another Fluff fact about Mega Man 5.
In an early Japanese promotional tape showcasing the game before its release, there's a few notable differences in how a few of the weapons operate. The Star Crash, which acts like a shield in the final version, acted as a single attack which homed in on enemies. Gravity Hold stopped time instead of killing all enemies on the screen, much like Flashman's weapon from Mega Man 2. And the Gyro Attack had no limits and could be redirected multiple times.
Very cool. Wonder why they changed that. Sounds like it would have been cool. This also looks like the purple kind of background paneling, which they did use in one of those Mega Man 2 Wily stages. I wonder if when they designed this game 30 plus years ago, if they knew, someone would nitpick the design and make all these comparisons to earlier games in the series. Again and again and again. But it's a long game, you gotta fill time, right? It's pretty straightforward here, just use your rush jet. Got a little crushing section coming up here. Haven't had to use that arrow type weapon yet, which can just be used, I don't know if Blaze mentioned that, but just for affixing it to walls and giving you, don't want to go back there, giving you the ability to climb up walls in certain cases, even though you probably just have Rush Jet, which you can use in most of those situations, but I guess if you don't have room to really take off, since Rush Jet likes to move left to right or right to left, that's what that's for. It's also a practical weapon, which I think we might get some use of out of one of these final boss battles. I'm not sure. See what Gary says, but just slide there. Wait for the opening and go on through. This is another instance where you can... These chicken enemies are perfect for replenishing any weapon health that you need, Mega Man health that you need. Certainly top off our beat in this instance. Hang on to that M-Tank for as long as possible. It's like you don't want to switch, make the effort for the little weapon refill right there. Make sure we have a clear lane right here. Alright, pretty happy with that. I'm not going to worry about topping off the Rush Jet or the Rush Coil at this stage in the game. Giving me more trouble than I thought, actually, this never-ending rush of tiny little chick robots. Okay. Notice a lot of these enemy types, they recycle from earlier games, but they changed the design slightly. The moveset's the same, it's just the design of the enemies themselves. There we go, I'll take that. Upgrade right there, it's a good trade. Good timing on that as well. And there's the Dr. W logo that we all know and love. Alright, Gary, who we got?
Alright, big pets. The secret here is fire a regular shot at the lower and upper tier to have them launch at you, and then jump to make use of them as platforms. When you're on the highest one, switch to your crystal eye shot. You should be able to get 2 of these off before you get too close. Repeat this process, you'll take him down.
Good call. Yeah, I remember just firing, not having any concept as to why those little platforms were coming at me when they were. All makes sense now. And there we go, just enough hang time to get that second and final cat eye off. Getting close, class. Just a couple more stages here. Of course, the famous Megaman boss rush is coming up on the stage after this one. Again, doesn't feel like the most direct route, but there you go. I can tell you how to do your job, Mega Man. Well, we have a bit more time to kill as we work our way through. Let's go to Fluff for another Fluff fact about this game.
If you really want to flex on the game of Mega Man 5 itself, using an M-Tank while at full health and all of your weapons at full capacity will cause all non-boss enemies on the screen to turn into 1-ups. Talk about disrespect.
Super disrespectful. I love it. Thank you very much, Fluff. Just have to make sure there's plenty of enemies on the screen to really take full advantage of it, make it worth your while. I like the low gravity that you get, that it's just assumed that you have underwater here, combined with the gears moving around. It's very dangerous, don't get me wrong. You can easily take some knockback damage and fall into a pit and lose your first life, compromising your no-death run. So far, so good. I have run this game a lot in preparation for this class, but I guess some of these just inherently have the little miniature versions of them versus some of the others which do not, so it's sort of keeping you guessing as to which one you're going to get in each instance. Get one Mega Buster? Oh well. Take him out in time now. He's got us treed. This might be a use for the Star Crash finally. Good thing we got all those initial shots off on him. Otherwise, I'm not sure we would have been able to make this rush jet. Just get him to... there we go. Just get him to bite. Alright, second of the Wily bosses. Gary, who we got this time, and what are we using?
The Circring Q9. You want to slide left and right to avoid those shots. When he freezes in the middle, you want to bait him just off to one side or the other. And you want to slide to the other side once he gets going and get a gyro attack through that small opening. He's going to go to the other side so you can move to the opposite side, get another shot in through the opening, repeat the process, you'll take him down.
Good call. Thank you, Gary. Works like a charm. Yeah, if they had kept in that initial design like Fluff mentioned, could have a lot more control over our gyros here, but took them down very easily nonetheless. Now it's time for the infamous Mega Man boss rush. I'm assuming on this next stage, it's usually the penultimate. Before that last little bit. Yeah, the short distance makes me think that we're definitely just about to. And are we actually going left to right here and into a, without having to go up or down to get to the boss rush area? All the different transfer portal tubes and everything. Got plenty of E-tanks. Maxed out on those. Yep. Guess we don't really know where this is in relation to that last room, but I guess it's right next door. Alright, Gravity Man. Go back to that star crash. Don't think we need to bring back Gary in for this. Just remember what he taught us early on for each of these. Hate it when he gets that shot off of the regular bullet and it just takes out my entire instance of star crash. Very wasteful as a result. Thankfully, it covers a lot of ground. Ooh, we're gonna have to go to the Mega Buster to finish him off here. And one last little shot. Forget if they drop health circles for you. There you go. Usually stay ahead of the grind here as long as they give you one of those. All right, Wave Man. Of course, we were using the kick to slide through him. Enjoying that temporary invincibility. Not really using any of the strategy, which Gary explained, just sort of spamming this kick to go through him and knowing that I'm getting one of those, 10 meters of my health back after each one of these. Using the Napalm Bomb on Stone Man here. Just gotta get the timing right, because he does have that little moment of invincibility here. I don't remember him using his stone weapon quite as much the first time we tangled. Yeah, that's such a narrow little window to hit him. And they're very unforgiving with the hitbox of actually these, the Napalm Bomb making contact, but who we got in the bottom middle position? Starman. Alright, so we actually didn't fight Starman, so I'm assuming that the water wave will work on him. Yep. How about that? Did it actually break his shield on top of that too? He's not even trying it now, so he's just kind of hopping around. Oh, that's sad. Alright, a lot easier. Well, he was always easy, but... Alright, who we got in the actual middle position? Gyro Man, so we just use the gravity hold for this. And I think kind of move in on him a little bit too, but we know that it doesn't matter where he is on the screen, as Gary mentioned. Alright, we are in good shape, staying ahead of the curve right here. Okay, this one was just land as many hits as possible in the shortest amount of time. Except that you're going to take some damage with his shots bouncing all over the place. There we go. So it's going to top us off. Well, close enough. Just a couple left. Napalm Man. So here we're going back to the eye and just focus on dodging his shots right here. And yeah, if we get close, he uses the napalm. If you're farther away, he uses a little rocket. So just assume have him go for the napalm shots right there. There we go. And by process of elimination, we are left with, yes, using the stone attack on Choo Choo Train Man. And then, yeah, we can pause it right here to clear them off the screen. It's like I was paying attention when Gary was talking earlier. Very nice. I do like that hack of just hitting pause and clearing off your the use of your weapon there, so you don't have to wait to replenish it. Wait till it clears the screen so you get that second shot off. Alright, doing alright on our health here. And who we got this time? Gary?
The Wily Press sounds like some sort of cappuccino maker, but you want to stay immediately to the left or right at the spikes. That's usually a good place where you can react. When he stops moving, you know where he's going to be coming straight down. So if you'll need to go to the corner, or if you need to jump across the spikes, whichever's closest, quickly make that decision. Once you're off to the side, have a charged Mega Buster shot ready to go, fire it at Wily, repeat this process, you'll take him down.
Good call. Thank you very much, Gary. Yeah, just, one was a little close there. Probably could have gone to the outside if we wanted to. Probably will this time, considering his position. You could see he was kind of hovering around the middle. Might do that again, actually. It depends where you've lured him, I suppose, in relation. They like doing that. The increments which, yeah, of course, which leave you with having to do one bit of damage left with many of the bosses in this game. Alright, that was not the final form. You could see Wily got away again. I think he's got his little garage down there. Got the staircase in the front where the delivery guys drop off his packages. Probably goes through a lot of random robot parts. And scented candles, of course. And I'm sure why they still bother putting any enemies in the game at this very late stage. Let's just get it on. Literally just 2 enemies before we fight Wily here. Or you got anybody else? Alright. 3 enemies. Doesn't feel necessary, but anyway, Gary, who we got for the penultimate boss here in Mega Man 5.
Boss, right, Wily Machine 5, you want to fire finally a use for that super arrow at the mouth. 7 will take him down, dodge the bouncing balls. Don't worry about getting hit by anything else. Do this, you can get through this battle with just a couple hits.
Alright, final form, Gary, take us home.
Alright, Wily Capsule 2. I like to call and beat for this one to beat Wily easily. You want to jump over that spark when it hits the ground, slide away from the spark ring after that, get close to him, repeat the process. You can use that M capsule if you need to, the M tank to top off everything if you've got one, but not too difficult for the final boss. Congratulations, you have beaten Mega Man 5.
I like that little hack there. If you keep the distance, he just seeks out Wily here. Already knows where he is. That's pretty fantastic. Excellent work today, Gary. Blaze, Fluff, all the TAs. Knocked it out of the park for the 5th time in this Mega Man series. Might need to resort to using one of our E-tanks here. Because if we really need to, we can use that M-tank as well to top off our beat supply. Looks like we're falling slightly behind in the proportions. Just a little bit off. Yeah, we're gonna need to, if we want to use beat to finish him off. A little unsure about that. Find him, beat, find him. There you go, blowing up his spot. Yeah, let's use the M tank. We can go home with a full tank of everything. In case anybody tries to mug us or anything on the way home, we'll be more than equipped to handle it. Heck, we could even fly home with that level of fuel there in the rush jet. You know what, forget beat, let's do it old school with the Mega Buster that got us here. Very fitting considering it was one of the Briggs notes. Let's always be charged for one final time. Nice. Mega Man, for the love of God, just shoot him in the face. Please. It's like, no, I want to have one more outing on the NES in the form of Mega Man 6. Alright, fair enough. There's Dr. Light. Caged up like a bird. We got you, buddy. Always begging forgiveness. Just shoot him. Shoot him right now. This is very heavy. Gentlemen. Like they designed a new animation for Mega Man's face right there. Alright, not sure how that worked, but thank you very much. Real Proto Man there in the bottom right corner right there. Never doubted you for a second. And Wily got away this time. Didn't even try to make it seem like he might not have gotten away. You got to see him fly away. They kind of left it up for, interpretation in previous Mega Man games. Like, is Wily dead? I don't know. But yeah, there you go. Yukiko Mori. Good design in Gravity Man. I like Wave Man's quite a bit, as I'd mentioned. The trident. This little mask. Little fun head ornament, whatever you want to call that. This is actually one of the worst Mega Man endings, because that's all you get. Just him flying away. That was the ending, and then we just get the credits here. So might as well wind this down now. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so to enroll in this class. We do one of these classes every single week in the same spot. Love to have you aboard. Stupid charge, man. No offense, Toshiaki. Yes, please click that like button if you don't mind. It really does help us out in making future classes for you. Leave a comment. Did you ever even play this Mega Man? I'm sure you were aware of its existence. I could have told you that Mega Man 37 was a thing on the NES, and you'd probably buy that. So they made a lot of them, is what I'm trying to say. But did you play this one, and how do you feel it stacks up in the greater series of Mega Man on the NES or otherwise? Anything it holds up after all these years? Do you kind of agree with me that the music took a dip in this one for pretty much the first time in the series, if you ask me? But there you go. One last time, big thanks to all my TAs for bringing it with a lot of appearances in this one. Usually the case with a Mega Man game, but there you go. That's our time this week. We'll see you all next week in the exact same spot for next week's class right here on Video Games 101. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on this video, and click subscribe if you haven't already, as this seriously helps me to keep making great content for you. And check the description of this video to see what song is playing right now.